Last time on Superhero Critic.
The cosmos. Countless.
Well, listen to this!
Ah, son of a bitch!
Oh, shit!
What movie? You got it. Well, it looks like in order to get my chair back, I'm going to have to review my first MCU movie, Thor. Thor is the fourth film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and while today the MCU is a box office crushing machine, back in the early years everyone was waiting for their first big flop. But before we get into what I think of the film, let's take a little time and learn a little about it. The movie, as you know, was produced by Marvel Studios, but you may not know that the first conception for making a Thor film came from Spider-Man director Sam Raimi, pitching it to Fox. After the success of movies like X-Men, Marvel started to revisit Thor, not as a movie, but as a TV series, starring Tyler Mane. Yes, that Tyler Mane. By 2004, the Thor movie was set to be distributed by Sony, who was seeking David S. Goyer to write and direct. However, a year later, Goyer had lost interest. Meanwhile, Mark Protosevich, a Thor fan and screenwriter, penned a superhero origin story different than previous movies, and during this time, Paramount acquired the distribution rights. Finally, in 2007, Marvel tapped director Matthew Vaughn, whose works prior to Thor included movies like Layer Cake and Kick-Ass, had him rewrite Protosevich's script to cut the budget down from $300 million to $150 million. However, Vaughn was released in 2008, and Marvel picked up Kenneth Branagh.
But I don't talk about that. I didn't get rid of the band and banshee by smiling at them.
But enough about all that, let's demand another with Thor. The movie begins in the deserts of New Mexico, where three scientists, Foster, Selvig, and Lewis, more on them later, are tracking down an energy anomaly when a sudden tornado touches down.
It's a suck zone.
That's when they run into a wandering man in the desert.
I think that was legally your fault.
As they wonder where he came from, the movie explains how Earth was once attacked by frost giants and saved by the Asgardians and Anthony Hopkins. I certainly wouldn't want to fight this guy on the battlefield.
I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Nope. With their victory, we get to see the realm of Asgard, and I must say that the art direction for the city and palace are nothing short of jaw-droppingly beautiful. It gives off a regal, god-worthy appearance while still staying humble enough to look like it was built rather than created through magic. It's how one might conceptualize what heaven may look like, even if the main building does look like a golden version of the Emerald City.
Who rang that bell? We did.
Flash forward a few years, and we're in the midst of a celebration of Thor, the god of thunder, played by then-relative newcomer Chris Hemsworth.
Man, nobody heard of Clark Kent's strippogram.
Oh, because of the glasses and the handsomeness.
But with the coronation above, trouble stirs below, as the frost giants have broken into the weapons vault. That seems pretty light on the defenses. Jesus! Until they are killed by the T-1000's fucking super-powered brother. I mean, damn. Look at this. That one giant isn't just shot dead. He's fucking obliterated. They are gone! While Odin may be satisfied with the results of the Jotun's attempted theft, Thor is not, and immediately plans for retaliation.
As king of Asgard...
But you're not king!
Suffice to say, he doesn't take things too well. Ah! Those damn Hanzo mains!
If it's any consolation, I think you're right. About the Frost Giants, about Laufey, about everything.
This is Loki, played by another newcomer, Tom Hiddleston, whose popularity just exploded after this movie came out. He basically tricks his brother into breaking the forbidden law of traveling to the home of the Frost Giants called Jotunheim. With Thor's mind made up, he convinces his friends and compatriots to come with. The Warriors 3, Hogun the Grim, played by Tadanobu Asano, Fondral the Dashing, played by Josh Dallas,
He won't be alone. I still owe him a punch in his pretty mouth for kissing me.
He kissed you?
Thought it was you.
Let's go.
Volstagg the Valiant, played by Ray Stevenson, who I'd like to point out is also the Punisher, and Lady Sif, played by Jamie Alexander, who mainly just starred in TV series up until her big break in this movie. The group races down Rainbow Road, which we all know is pretty dangerous because there are no rails, where Heimdall, played by the awesome Idris Elba,
Clay, I'm sorry I threatened to cut your head off.
Very good.
opens the Bifrost, a magical gateway that can send them to any of the 9 realms.
What the hell was that?
They arrive on Jotunheim, a barren wasteland covered in endless winter. The group confronts the king of the Frost Giants, Laufey.
What do you want?
Unfortunately, diplomacy breaks down kinda quickly.
Run back home, little princess.
And in no time, Thor starts a huge battle, killing several Jotuns, plus a giant beast. It's a fantastic display of godlike action. Not necessarily the best fight choreography, mind you, but a fun visual of Thor's powers. With the group cornered, Odin arrives just in time to rescue them all. But he is not amused.
I was a fool to think you were ready.
Father.
Wait, what did he say? Yeah, I'm still not getting it. Okay. Odin punishes Thor by banishing him to Earth, where we get to pick up right where the movie started.
Whoa, does he need CPR? Because I totally know CPR.
Yeah, he's dreamy, I got it. As I mentioned earlier, this is Jane Foster, who we all know is played by Natalie Portman.
You're a funny little boy.
Eric Selvig, played by Stellan Skarsgård.
How many agents did the KGB put aboard my boat?
Your boat, Captain.
Yes.
This vessel belongs to the people of the Soviet Union.
And Darcy, played by the hilarious Kat Dennings.
You look like a lesbian I made out with once on a dare.
The group takes him to the hospital where more hilarity ensues. And now that Thor is mortal, he needs to adapt to living like one. Hey, remember when I said that the budget was cut in half? You know, from $300 million to $150 million? Well, I think this is why. When filmmakers take a sci-fi character into a modern-day setting, it's done so to save money on production. And I'm not saying it is a bad thing at all. Just that you can see where they saved the money. I'm not sure when this trend started exactly. I just recall films like He-Man, Suburban Commando, Beastmaster 2, whenever this happened. But while those films failed, this one succeeds, mainly due to better writing, acting, better everything, really.
What? I'm so sorry. I swear I'm not doing this on purpose.
Meanwhile, Mjolnir has drawn quite the crowd, including Stan the Man Lee.
Did it work?
And the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Thor, however, is on a more important quest. That is to say, finding a damn shirt.
What is this?
Oh.
Oh, that's just an Easter egg. You don't have to worry about that.
And as for Loki, he realizes that he is not just the god of mischief, but also half Smurf. So while enjoying a nice breakfast at the local diner,
I thought I told you never to come in here.
Thor learns that Mjolnir
Mia Mia? What's Mia Mia?
is nearby and sets off to recover it as S.H.I.E.L.D. appropriates Jane's research.
By appropriate, do you mean steal?
Back on Asgard, Loki has assumed the throne, and Thor's friends ask to end his banishment.
Which is strange, really. I mean, what has he been banished for, like, all of 2 days? I've had hangovers that lasted longer than that.
Another!
So as Odin re-energizes in his giant bed of honey, Jane drives Thor to Mjolnir's
Mia Mia? What's Mia Mia?
location. He breaks in and fights his way through to his hammer, but he just can't get it up.
Boner jokes.
After Agent Coulson interrogates him, Loki appears pretty much just to taunt him, and Selvig manages to convince S.H.I.E.L.D. to let him go.
Just keep him away from the bars.
Where are we going?
To get a drink.
Loki's schemes start to become more clear, offering to allow King Laufey and his White Walkers to kill Odin while he sleeps. With Thor ready to accept his banishment, he realizes that if he can be with Jane, life wouldn't be that bad at all.
Psst, Thor! Talk about sand! She loves that stuff!
The Asgardians travel to Earth to recover Thor, alerting both S.H.I.E.L.D. and Loki, who unleashes the Destroyer armor from earlier to kill him.
Ensure my brother does not return.
The armor makes its way into town where Thor tries to reason with Loki.
Brother, whatever I have done to wrong you, whatever I have done to lead you to do this, I am truly sorry.
Well, there you go. That just goes to show you that violence isn't always the answer. A little understanding and compassion are truly what matter in this world. Of course.
Thor's selfless actions summon Mjolnir
Mia Mia? What's Mia Mia?
to his aid, restoring his strength. With his powers returned to him, Thor makes quick work of the Destroyer armor, but he has to hurry because
Winter is coming.
Loki has let the Frost Giants into Asgard, and Thor returns heading straight to his father's side. But in a twist, Loki kills Laufey and plans to destroy Jotunheim, a deception to prove himself better than Thor and worthy of the title of King of Asgard. Loki then opens the Bifrost and freezes it with the Casket of Ancient Winters, which will destroy the home of the Frost Giants if left open.
Loki, this is madness.
This is Asgard!
Thor's only option is to destroy the Bifrost, saving Jotunheim but preventing him from returning to Jane. Odin manages to save his sons, but Loki decides to fall into space, and everything returns to normal.
And that was Marvel's Thor. How was it?
Well, I'd be lying if I said it was the best of the MCU films, but it's still a solid movie all around. The writing is filled with action, drama, and great humor. All the actors in the film fit their roles like an infinity gauntlet, especially Hemsworth and Hiddleston. Hemsworth's general likability elevates him in the role, as does Hiddleston's all-around acting performance. As I mentioned earlier, the design of Asgard was quite a glorious sight, and that's also true for the costume designs by Alexandra Brin, really nailing a true-to-life Marvel superhero without copying them right from the pages. Heck, she even manages to make Loki's antlers look good. Other critics gave it a hit-and-miss approach, ultimately setting it into the high 70s. At the box office, it was, of course, a success, pulling in just under $450 million, making it one of the top-grossing films of 2011.
There, that ought to do it. Well, I guess you could say that my movie review wasn't Thorable. Aw, come on. It was punny. Well, now what am I gonna do?
Mama? Mama?
Yeah, we can tell you're hammered. It's pretty obvious. You alright?
Mama? Mama?
Damn.
Learning to walk again. I believe I waited long enough. Where do I begin? Learning to talk again. Can't you see I've waited long enough? Where do I begin?
This drink, I like it.
I know, it's great, right?
Another!
Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and please take a minute to like, comment, and subscribe for more super videos.